Alright, welcome back everybody. We have a new video here today. Starting off, we got the markets up fairly from yesterday. XRP up 4.88%. This comes off of some news today. We have a tweet from Brad Garlinghouse. Ripple is dropping our cross appeal, and the SEC is expected to drop their appeal. As they've previously said, we're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what's most important, building the internet of value. Lock in. Definitely bullish news. We've been in this for a while, and it looks like it's finally coming to an end. We have a nice tweet here from Digital Perspectives. Now that Brad Garlinghouse told us the SEC versus Ripple case will be dropped, understanding Ripple can't sell directly to institutions, and Uphold recently announced they're looking for merger acquisition opportunities. Will Ripple buy Uphold? 72% said yes out of 4,593 people. Right here we have Secretary Scott Bessent saying some potentially good stuff for the economy. Let's take a listen.
We're seeing very low numbers, and forget imported inflation, because if we were to get it from tariffs, which has not happened, it doesn't have to happen. That's a small part of the inflation calculations. What we're seeing is service inflation drop. I think we're going to see the rent component drop, and the overall housing component, which is implied owners' rents, drop. So the Fed's measure of supercore inflation is way down. PCE year over year is down. So it looks like the trends are quite good. We're at a 4-year low in gasoline prices, so we're going to have a great summer travel season. And Morgan, one thing I heard you talking with your colleague earlier when they talked about the April tariff panic. So we found out today. This episode from April 3rd to today is the fastest bounce back after a 15% decline in S&P history. Fastest bounce back ever. So, the administration doesn't look at the stock market every day. What we try to do is set in place economic fundamentals, and presumably the market had a chance to digest the panic and is looking forward. So, I think it is telling you that the tariff panic, or, as I like to call it, tariff derangement syndrome, was overdone. We're seeing earnings growth. We're seeing a good path for interest rates. So, I think
All right, it looks like the market's heading in a good direction. Hopefully this is all sustained. Right here we have a tweet from Jim Cramer. 100 trillion coming into this market. Ignore this money at your own peril. Jim Cramer has a history of anything he says, the opposite usually happens, but we're going to have to take a look and see. Obviously, most of us that are here, do think that the market is definitely going to grow. So right here we have an interesting question about debanking. Today, Trump held a visit with the foreign ministers of Congo and Rwanda, and they asked him about debanking. Let's take a listen.
Did you push for the president of UVA?
No,
Did you push for the president?
Not you.
A related question on banking. There have been reports, Mr. President, that your administration is considering issuing an executive order about debanking, which is the practice of banks denying services based on people's political beliefs or industries such as crypto, people involved in that. Would you be open or interested to sign such an executive order targeting debanking, and what might that look like?
Well, I think the debankers, I think that banks, I can tell you because I've been a victim myself, because of my politics, that big banks were very nasty to us. And I actually think it was Biden's people that told them to be, because the one group of people the banks are afraid of are the regulators. They are petrified of the regulators. And I've seen the biggest banker. I can tell you, you see him on television all the time. If a regulator walked into the room, he gets all nervous and crazy. They're afraid of the regulators. And if the Biden people order the banks to be virtually closed, they can do anything they want. The regulators control the banks. It's not the president of the bank. The president of the bank is far less important to a bank than a regulator. And a regulator can put that bank out of business, just like bad prosecutors are very dangerous. We had a couple. I had deranged Jack Smith and some others. And we kicked their ass. But it was, it's a tough kind of a situation. Prosecutors are very dangerous. A great prosecutor is an amazing asset for a country, but a corrupt prosecutor, a bad prosecutor is very bad. Well, the regulators are the same thing, and when they tell the regulator to go and make life impossible for big banks or little banks, they really control it. So there is a lot of debanking, and they call it debanking, call it a lot of different names. Essentially, they make it impossible to do business, and those people are very bad and very dangerous, and they shouldn't be doing it.
Alright guys, so today was a little bit of a slow news day, but a friendly reminder, if you want to trade futures, the link will be in the description. I use BitUnex. I've personally deposited myself, and I've also withdrawn myself. Also, if you want to buy crypto from Uphold, links are in the description. Thank you very much guys. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.